Team of Fluent Artists, what's happening? We are live. All right, come in, type your name and where you from in the chat. Want to make sure that you can hear me. And I got my chat live over here so I can see you. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time sharp. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And while we are waiting for everyone to join, again, come in, type your name, where you from in the chat. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. So you are here today because you want to sell art online and you're looking for a new way to do it. And so just like Tierra sold that $2,000 piece, Galactic Jellies, Jasmine, she sells a lot of prints, the gift to keep on giving. Right here, Jasmine made over $15,800 in 20 days. We're going to talk about that today. Here, Jasmine set a goal to make $5,000 in a month. She did over $5,500 in a week. Miss Joy, more cash from Jasmine. And so as artists come in, type your name, where you from in the chat. You can see the type of results that you can get when you lock in, pay attention. Make sure that you take notes tonight. See, Jonte sold a $2,000 piece, another $350 sale right there. All right, there's another $2,000 piece by Joe Woods. All right. So we're going to show you a new way to sell your art online in any economy. All right. So I'm really excited for all of the artists that have registered who are here live. You got questions, type them in the chat. And we're going to get right into it. Okay. And so Jasmine here, she joined the program and she said, let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artist January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200. And my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. Okay. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I will have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. She said, thank you, Sherez, for giving us the tools to make this passion into a business and for investing your time into my life. All right. And so if you're sick and tired of being an artist, a starving artist, or an emerging artist that's not making the sales you want, just type a Fluent Artist in the chat for me. Okay. All right. And so Jason, he recently joined, and you see he made $750 in sales within his first month. And he was thanking Jesus that he was so excited. Okay. And then since the new year, he's already made a $1,000 sale. That was like right after the new year. All right. So type yes in the chat if you want to sell art like Jason here. And so if you're here, my goal is to help you become an affluent artist. And so this presentation is designed to help two types of artists. One, if you're an emerging artist, we're going to help you get more confidence to sell art and raise your prices. All right. I see the yeses in the chat. If you are an established artist, we're going to help you get more exposure to high income collectors globally. Okay. And so for both, I'm going to help you accomplish your dreams, your sales goals, and become a well-known artist so you can increase your status and finally leave your 9-to-5 to become a full-time affluent artist. All right. And so the only way for you to make this transformation so you can consistently sell your art online is by being an affluent artist. And the only way to be an affluent artist is with artwork. All right. And so if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? Just type yes in the chat. All right. All right. And so my name is Sherez. And like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life. Okay. And so the picture at the top left, that's young Sherez right there, man. I always loved art as a kid. This drawing, that's a drawing I did of my son and I for his first birthday. And then I love playing basketball. So I played basketball in college. All right. But while I was in school and just coming up, I didn't have any collectors and I for sure didn't have any sales skills. Plus the day after Christmas, while I was in college, my house burned down. My family lost everything and I ended up losing all of my art. And so I kind of became depressed and I was just like, man, I didn't really feel like creating. And so I became a starving artist dropout back in 2007. And so, man, my confidence was a little low and it was still really hard to sell art and break into the art industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online. So I was like, man, I got to figure out how to sell art and how to make money. And so I knew I needed a mentor. And so I ended up getting writing a letter to like 19 multimillionaires. And one of the first people that replied was this guy right here named Mike. And Mike, he hired me to help him do a product launch. And we ended up making over $1.8 million in just about a week, right? In 7 days. And so I was blown away by the result and everything I learned. So I ended up writing a book about it. And I became a #1 best-selling business author of how to create lifetime customers. Okay. So I've spoken all around the world, teaching people how to sell their products and services online. And I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey launch her businesses as well. And so I've helped a lot of creators make money. But even though I'm having all of this success, I still have personal dreams of being a full-time artist, like I know many of you do. And so then I had an epiphany. I was like, man, a starving artist or an artist that's emerging, that's not don't really have access to collectors, or a really great artist that's trying to grow, like that only means like you don't have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. That's the only thing that means. So I was like, man, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? And so I had a crazy plan. I was like, man, I'm going to host my first art event, and I'm going to use everything I've learned to sell out the show. All right. And so we did just that. So we had an event, man. This is me standing with one of the collectors. We had a bunch of beautiful people in the room, man. People was enjoying the wine, hors d'oeuvres, and they was buying art, right? And so this is how I actually sold a piece for $2,000 at the very first art show. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell a piece for $2K or more at your first or next art show or online. Just type yes in the chat for me, all right? And so this is Melissa Mitchell, right? She's an affluent artist as well. And she said, flashback to this dope art investors event by Sherez. All of these pieces have sold and already have doubled in value. Okay, so she was one of the artists at this event. And now, while we having a good time, we selling art, we making money, I realized we had some very real problems though, right? So doing it the old way, it cost me over $5,000 up front. And I knew just a lot of artists just ain't have that to invest up front for an art event. You don't know if you're gonna make money. It left all of our art sales disorganized. Everything was hard to track. And the biggest problem, like we couldn't easily follow up with the collectors that have just spent thousands of dollars with us, right? And so if you're using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, taking cash, I mean, you're missing some important business information. So you don't always get the phone number, you don't always get the address, and you definitely don't get the access to the credit card so you can make it easy to sell art to them again, right? And so I'm thinking through this just with all my business education. And so this is what really inspired the Affluent Artist movement, because I couldn't find a solution. I knew I had to create a way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art on and offline. And so as an affluent artist, you need a system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. And you want to be able to track your artwork, your sales, and your collector's information in one place. Ideally, collectors can buy your art with one click, like they buying something on Amazon. And I love it if collectors could track their net worth in your art, right? So they can see your value and your growth as an artist. And I want to bring interested collectors to you, right? To me, right? Because I'm an artist as well. And so it was really hard and expensive to create this vision though, right? And so I wasted over 30K and over a year hiring 2 development teams to create artwork. I literally invested every penny to my name. And so I thought about giving up, but I knew going back to the old way of trying to do like shows and go to events, like it wouldn't work out for me. So I found a 3rd development team and I tried it one more time, right? The new artwork app and the automated collector system that we created, it started working so well that many artists began selling art within 7 days. And so like Kira, when she joined, she sold art in the first 19 hours and she actually holds the record. And she was the youngest. So she was 18 when she started. She didn't know anything about selling art or how to get new collectors. And so she ended up making a sale in her first 19 hours. And then Z, he collected over $1,800 in cash from selling 7 prints and 8 commissions in a week, right? And so I forget the full total of when he would collect all the cash, but he said that was a record-breaking success for him for that past weekend. We're going to show you how to do that live here today, okay? One of my favorite stories is affluent artist Jen. She's a single mother of 4 kids, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours after she watched this live class that you're on right now. So you see, she said it took a little longer than 24 hours, but I have my first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up, all right? And so Jen, again, she started where you are right now, and she started selling so well that she was invited to Art Basel. I typed yes in the chat if you would love to go sell your art at Art Basel, or you've been to Art Basel. I just typed yes in the chat, okay? Or put Basel in the chat, all right? And so she sold a piece for $5,840 down at Art Basel to this couple right here. And then, man, she kept going, man. Jen is an active full-time artist. And so here she got invited over to London to go to the Sotheby's Art Business Institute of Art. All right, type yes in the chat if you'd like to get invited to Sotheby's, man. We know Sotheby's and Christie's are 2 of the biggest art businesses in the world, okay? They really run the auction game, all right? And so Jen, she started where you are. And this is where she is now. All right. And so after creating artwork and helping all kind of artists transform into a fluent artist, I realized that we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us, wait on word of mouth to sell our art, or already have a big following on social media. All right. So that old way of being a starving artist or not selling the way you would want is dead. All right. And so what I need from you is simple. I need your belief. Okay. Because I will give you the solutions to become a full-time fluent artist, but you have to believe that you can right? You got to believe that you can do it and put it into action, because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problems. All right. So you say you learn it. Let's go. All right. And so type yes in the chat, man, if you want to go from, man, like setting sales goals and not hitting them to getting like Brescia, where she set a goal for the first quarter to make $12,000. And she said, as of today, I hit 13K instead. Keep going. All right. Type yes in the chat if you want to start to exceed your sales goals. All right. Type yes in the chat. I want to see. All right. And because of our success helping artists, I've been invited to speak at BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager, because they manage over $10 trillion in assets. All right. And so they brought me in to speak on investing in art. All right. So we got access to really wealthy collectors. I see the yes coming through in all caps. All right. So we got access to a vast network of collectors. Okay. And so people are really looking at art as an investment. All right. The world's largest asset manager. And then some senators from the country of Barbados, they heard about how we were helping artists sell their art to collectors around the world. And they actually invited me in to teach the artists in the island of Barbados how they could access a global marketplace of collectors, okay? Because when the pandemic hit, they actually didn't, the tourism dried up, and so they didn't really have access to collectors anymore, all right? So they brought me out there to show them how they could begin selling the art as well. And so if you struggle to sell art, listen, it's not your fault. I went to college, man, there's some great teachers in there. You have some, man, incredible classmates, but they don't teach you how to make money from your artistic gifts. All right. So if you struggle with this, it is not your fault. And so after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get your own collectors, and skip the high dealer fee so you can sell your art online all over the world. All right. You can type a yes in the chat, type a 1 in the chat. Let me know in the comments, man, if it's your turn, if you're ready to rock and roll. All right. I'm excited that you're here. If you're learning, you are in the right place. All right. Let's get into it. Because once you discover these 3 secrets, you have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. All right. And so let's get into the 3 secrets, artists. All right. Type, yeah, let's go, man. Put the money bag in the chat if y'all ready to get the secrets to selling art online. All right. Drop the money bag emoji in the chat for me. All right. So secret number 1, charge your worth. All right. How this one thing makes collectors excited to buy your art at luxury prices. All right. Now, this is Melissa. She was one of the artists that was at that event. All right. And you see, man, she has incredible art, and she also creates wearable art. And so that's one of her headscarves as well. And so one of the things that I really loved about her when she came to the show was she was just like very polished and very well presented with her art, right? She really took the business of her art very, very serious. And so I discovered this first secret at our first art event. And so this is how we were able to sell this piece for $2,000. All right. The secret that I'm about to share with you right here. Okay. And so the collector that bought this piece for $2,000, I was really amazed by it because he had no clue who she was. And so I asked him, I was like, you know, man, you never heard of this artist. You don't follow them on social media. You don't know anything about their brand. Like, why didn't you invest $2,000 in this piece? And he said, Sherez, I think the art is great, but it was the story. Okay. It was the story. And so if you're posting like this with no sales, or if you're getting a lot of engagement and you aren't making the money that you want, right? You posting the price, the size, the medium, you putting a bunch of hashtags, man, just add this one thing. All right. So Jasmine, she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. All right. So she pre-sold this before it was done. She said, gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work. All right. And so type yes in the chat if you're here and you want to sell your first or next piece for over $1,000. I type yes in the chat. So Miss Raquel Miller, she used the power that I'm about to share with you right now to sell her first piece for over $1,000. All right. And then Brescia Jones, she used the power of her story to sell her biggest and her highest price piece at the time. Right. So she sold it for $6,209. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $6,200. And it's a 60 by 48. She said, I'm really still speechless because this was significant for her. And so I'm going to read over here to the right. This is a message that she shared from the collectors about why they bought the piece. And so she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel, hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place, fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. All right. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness. All right. So type yes in the chat if you see the power of adding your story to your art. All right. Type yes in the chat. And this is an abstract piece. Okay. I see the yeses coming through. So artists, this is how you break sales records. All right. And so again, it's not about time or size. I know a lot of us have been taught that it's about, pricing your stuff about how much time it take you to do it, right? And how big it is, right? But if you really think about that, the time thing don't really make a lot of sense because the more time you invest into your craft as an artist, you get faster and more efficient, right? And so it don't really make sense to charge less because you got better. And the same thing with size. We know some wall art that hangs in homes is more expensive than murals on the side of buildings, right? So it's not really about the time or how big the piece is. It's really about your art story, artists. It's about your art story. Make sure y'all write that down, art story. And it has to touch your collector's emotions, okay? And so let's get into a simple framework that we use to create art stories, all right? So the A equals art star, all right? Make sure y'all taking notes. Who's the art star in your art story, all right? Every story has to have a star to the story, okay? And then R equals role. What's the art star's role in your art story? Like, what do they want to do? What do they want to accomplish? All right. You got to have a role in the art story. And then T equals twist. All right. So, what's the emotional twist in your art story? All right. And so, if you watch movies, man, a good movie will have you literally on the edge of your seat with the twists and the turns because you're excited about what's happening next. All right. You can create that in your story that you tell with your art as well. All right. And so, I'm going to show you how this piece use the art story framework to sell for an astronomical price at auction. All right, so check this out. So the art star, that's Dr. Gachet. All right, that's who this photo is of. This is Dr. Gachet. Who is Dr. Gachet? His role, he is Van Gogh's doctor. All right, that's simple enough. He's Van Gogh's doctor. But then what's the twist of Fluent Artist? This doctor may have killed Van Gogh. All right. And so if you know anything about Van Gogh or this Dr. Gachet piece, man, this was one of the last pieces that Van Gogh painted. And people were really wondering, did the doctor kill him? All right. And y'all know people go crazy over murder mysteries and suspense. And this story, man, it got told so many times and people were really wondering what happened that it ended up selling for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's. All right. $82.5 million, just really on the power of the art story. All right. So I want to have a little fun real quick and draw a little line in the sand. So I know some of y'all here, you might be new, you learning, you might want to just start selling your art. You might want to be selling for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more. But listen, if you want to sell your art for millions, put $82.5 million in the chat for me. All right, put $82.5 million. You can put the money bag emoji, the money tongue emoji. If you know that you can make millions, if other people making millions, put that in the chat for me, okay? And so now I've shown you how becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices, all right? Now, write down your new price and type it in the chat, all right? Write down a new price that you're going to start selling your art for as you create your art stories and put that in the chat for me, okay? Write down your stories and put that in the chat for me, all right? Now, artists, this works for you if you are a painter, sculptor, you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? All right, so let's get into secret number 2, all right, which is the one-click collectors. So how to get instant access to ready-to-buy collectors, all right? Drop a 2 in the chat if you want to get access to ready-to-buy collectors, okay? Now, I got to tell y'all a quick story because I couldn't believe this happened, right? This piece represents a turning point in my life and how I get into helping artists sell their art, right? And so I ran into one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show. And so I get to the show, man. They did a great job setting up the show. And I saw this piece and I absolutely love it. Like, I love the colors, the hair, the earrings, the profile. I thought it was a really dope piece. And so when I saw my classmate, I'm practically like pressing my business credit card in his chest because I'm trying to buy this piece. And I'll never forget what he said next. He said, Sherez, I can't take your money because people usually cash at me, right? He did not have a way to pay, and my mouth absolutely hit the floor, okay? Because let me know if you've experienced this in the chat, all right? All right, let me know if you've experienced this in the chat, because rule number one is you got to get paid, all right? Everybody put get paid in the chat, all right? Put get paid in the chat. We can't be turning down money. And so I was blown away because I didn't know artists were literally not taking payments because they didn't have a way to do it. They couldn't process credit cards, all right? So rule number one is get paid. Everybody put get paid in the chat. Because if you can't take payments in 2026, man, we got to do better, all right? We got to step your game up as an artist, okay? And so if you're still using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc., like, this is fine, all right? But once you get to certain price points and certain kind of collectors, they might not want to do Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, right? Because they don't get a receipt. If you don't deliver the painting, they won't be able to recover their money. Like, they can't do a chargeback or call their bank. So a lot of collectors at certain price points and levels, they're not going to want to do that, okay? So we got to upgrade our business as an artist and really step our game up. And then social selling. I put guilty in the chat if you ever drop a photo or a photo and say email or DM me for price. I put guilty in the chat, all right? I put guilty in the chat. I see the get paid is coming through with the salute. All right. And then taking orders on paper. We can't still be taking orders on paper in 2026. All right. We got to level up. Okay. And then low or no website sales. I know this is a big one for a lot of artists. A lot of artists either don't have a website, right? Or they do have one and there aren't a lot of sales coming through, or, they don't really know how long people are staying or why they're not buying. All right. And so I created artwork to help you solve all of these problems, okay? It's an all-in-one solution that artists are getting fantastic results with. And so Tierra, she sold this piece, Angels Among Strangers. She said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Thank you, Sherez, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists, all right? And so I'm going to show you a quick artwork demo. This is our demo account. But just show you how easy it is to add your art and sell your art and track all of your sales as you get collectors buying all over the world.
Hey, my name is Sherez May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does two very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top, and this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business, all right? And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you'll see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on that dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection, and it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection, and as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artists that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick, and let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart and go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art, and also for collectors to buy, track the value of their collection as well, all right? Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right. Type yes in the chat if you love artwork, man. Let me know what you think about artwork in the chat. All right. So while you drop your yeses in the chat, I want to answer a couple of frequently asked questions. So artists, you can set your own price. All right. Once you create your art story, you can add that in the description. All right. You can also use ChatGPT to create your art stories too. Okay. Collectors can buy multiple pieces. We like to add the shipping fee to the art price. All right. So we selling a piece for $10,000 and the shipping is $100. We'll set it at $10,100. Artists, you'll ship it directly to the collector. Okay. Once you get a sale, sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours. So you get paid really quickly. And then artwork only gets a small 10% commission. Okay. And so artists are selling art right now, man. For a lot of different price points. I put some of my favorites, these pieces that I like. So Jen got Purpose right here, Tierra, Bright Future, and Christina Villa Night. I absolutely love the colors in that sky. Here's Magdalena. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first piece like Magdalena. She said, I'm very happy I sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collector. This piece goes directly to Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. And so now I've shown you how artwork saves you time, money, and makes it easy for collectors to buy your art with one click. All right, type yes in the chat if you're excited to use artwork to get collectors, okay? Type yes in the chat. I see the yes is coming through. All right, we're going to show you how to get the app here in a second, Steven. All right, type yes if you're excited to use artwork to get collectors, okay? Man, we are rocking and rolling. Listen, if you haven't taken a note yet, make sure you take notes for secret number 3, all right? Get your pen and your pad out because this will really change your life, all right? Everything works together, man. But this secret right here, this answers a big questions for a lot of artists. All right. So secret number 3, high income collectors, how to leverage AI for exposure to collectors that spend millions on art. All right. And so here's Christy, man. She used this strategy that I'm about to share with you. She said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. She said, on my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece. It would have taken me a while to even get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. I spent only $7. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. And she sold a piece for $700. Okay. And it took her a few hours to sell. And this was her first time doing this. All right. Type yes in the chat if you like to spend $7 on ads and sell your art for whatever price point you're selling your art for. All right. Just think about what you're selling your art for. And it might cost you more than $7. But the point is, it doesn't cost a lot of money to begin accessing collectors online that will buy your art at any price and start to make a lot of money. Okay. And so she ended up making over $2,300 in her first 3 weeks. And she was brand new to advertising online. Okay. And so I love friends and family sales. All right. Man, we can make a lot of money with friends and family sales. So Tierra, she sold a galactic jelly to a friend. Mr. Emmanuel, he sold this piece for $500 to a friend at his local church. But sometimes I know we want to get global exposure. All right. If you want to get global exposure or exposure outside of your neighborhood and other parts of the country, all right, wherever you live, put global in the chat. Okay. Just put global in the chat. Let me see who really want to go big with their art. Put global in the chat for me. All right. Now, after our first wave of Fluent Artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high income collectors online by leveraging the power of AI and online ads. All right. I see the global coming through. Now, because of my experience buying ads on social media, right? Y'all here because y'all saw an ad on social media, right? So I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors. And that is on Instagram. All right. Instagram, Facebook and Instagram are the big dogs. All right. YouTube, Google as well, but these two will do. Okay. And so always remember, success leaves clues. Okay. And so Forbes, they said with Sotheby's $363.2 million sale, the art market passed the first major test of the pandemic. All right. So people got back to selling art online. And then Business Insider said, for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's a good thing. The sum is us. All right. The affluent artists, you, myself, everybody that's on this call. So it said Artsy, which is an online art marketplace, said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, and interest from galleries increased by 60%. All right. And so type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to advertise your art to all those collectors that's spending $363.2 million at Sotheby's. All right. Type yes in the chat if that makes sense to you, because that makes sense to me. Okay. And so that makes sense to you. When we log into the Facebook Ads Manager, we can put our location. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm using the United States. You can start whatever country that you're in. Okay. And then in that bottom red box, it says Sotheby's. So we just saw in the Forbes article that Sotheby's had a $363.2 million sale. And Sotheby's and Christie's, they make up a big, large part of the $18 billion a year art market. All right. And so that makes sense to you. All we got to do is click that green create ad button. And it's going to take us to a place called detailed targeting. All right. Everybody type the word financial in the chat. I type the word financial in the chat. Because when we go to detailed targeting, we can target Sotheby's and all of the collectors that's spending millions at Sotheby's. But then we can take it a step further and we can target the collectors that make the top 5% of household income in the United States. All right. We can target the collectors that make the top 10% of household income. And we can target collectors that make the top 10 to 50% of household income in the country that you live. All right. Now, if you've never seen this before, man, put wow in the chat, put the mind blown emoji. Man, let me know if this is blowing your mind right now, because this is how you put your art in front of high income collectors that had a disposable cash to buy it at any price that you set. All right. Let me know, man. If you've never seen this before, let me know how you're feeling in the chat right now. All right. Let me show you a couple more examples of using this. All right. So Art Basel, we just had Art Basel in December here in the States, in Miami, Art Basel. So type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to target Art Basel. And all them collectors are spending all of that money at Art Basel. You got to travel, buy airfare, hotel, food. Man, it's an investment to go to Art Basel. I type yes if that makes sense to you, because that makes sense to me. All right. And so all I got to do is target Art Basel, type in the word financial, and then I can target the top 5% of collectors that like Art Basel that make the top 5% of household income. All right. I can target the top 10% of collectors that make the most household income that like Art Basel. And I can target the top 10 to 50% of collectors that make the most household income that like Art Basel. All right. I see Art Basel in the chat. Say he's going to be rich. He said, this is great. Let's go, Steven. You can do it, man. I see the wows coming through. All right. Man, this is a game changer information right here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you one more. Artsy. So we saw the Business Insider article that said Artsy had a 92% increase in online sales. All right, type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to start targeting all those collectors that's starting to spend money online on Artsy. All right, type yes in the chat that makes sense to you. That makes sense to me to just put my art in the flow of the money where it's being spent, right? And so again, this is how we get exposure to high income collectors. We can type in that financial layer, we can target Artsy, and now we targeting the top 5% of income earners, all right? The top 10% of income earners and the top 10 to 50% of household income earners, all right, when you use this method, okay? And so artists, now we have the keys to success, okay? Because these collectors have the two most important things you need to sell art, all right? So these collectors have the willingness to buy art. And I know you have the willingness to buy art because you like brands like Sotheby's, you like Art Basel, you like Artsy, all right? So I know you got the willingness to buy art. But as equally as important as that, when we use that financial layer, we know that these collectors have the ability to buy art, okay? And so now we know that we putting our art in front of collectors that love art, but they also got the money to buy, okay? And so this type of access changes everything, all right? Put the mind-blown emoji in the chat, man. If this is blowing you away, this secret right here, all right? This is how we use the power of the internet and online marketing to target high-income collectors, okay? And so affluent artists are using this to sell art worldwide. So here's Nisha. She's Indian. She sold some art in Indian rupees, which I thought was really cool. She says, Sherez, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and a person is willing to buy, all right? Here's Miss Valerie, all right? So she's a senior. So no matter how young or how old you think you are, seniors are using this. And so she sold over $3,250 in her ads pretty quickly, okay? And she was really trying to figure a lot of this stuff out, all right? Here's Christy, all right? Christy, she spent $45 and ran an ad a day and a half. She should have kept the ad going full time, all right? But that's another conversation for another time. But she received over 800 likes, 200 comments, and over 100 shares and about 300 messages. She said, I got 14 sales and about 10 possible leads. I type yes in the chat if you like to get 14 sales, 10 possible more collectors, and have 300 messages of people waiting to buy your art because you're advertising, all right? So she spent over $45 on ads and made over $1,400 in a day and a half, all right? So the return of your investment, man, this is a powerful, powerful opportunity for artists that understand the power of marketing, man, and just reaching different collectors around the country or potentially around the world, all right? And so here's another one, man, another one of my favorite stories. My guy Joe, he posted this. He said, this happened last night, sold, all right? So he sold $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep. All right, if you want to wake up to new money because you had your ads running around the clock, put sleep money in the chat for me. All right, you can put the bed emoji with the money bag. But if you want to have your ads running around the clock, people can see it on Facebook and Instagram, and they start clicking and buying. Put sleep money in the chat for me. All right, this is powerful, powerful when you got a system set up to sell your art for you. Okay, and so now I've shown you how you can use Instagram ads and AI to target the same high-income collectors the biggest art brands in the world use to sell art. All right, so type yes in the chat if you're ready to get exposure to high-income collectors online. I see the sleep money coming through. Let's go. All right, we got a good group right here. I got my chat pulled up on the side right here. All right, so type yes in the chat if you're ready to get exposure to high-income collectors online, okay? And so artists, so far you discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices, all right? How to track your art sales in artwork. How you can easily share your art via text, email, or social on the artwork app. How you can access a worldwide collector marketplace. You discover how to get collectors to buy your art with one click on artwork. You discover how collectors can track what they own from your collection, all right? You discover how you can use Instagram to target high-income collectors worldwide, and then really how to use that financial layering, man, to target those collectors that got money to spend on art, all right? Because they already spending it. All we got to do is put our art in their path, all right? And so I want you to imagine using this system, all right? Imagine your future best self selling art to collectors worldwide. Imagine yourself charging what you're worth, right? And being happy when you get a sale, okay? Imagine like living your dream life as a full-time affluent artist. Like, let me know, what are you doing with all that extra money and free time? I know some artists want to travel. Some artists want to build studios. Some artists want to help their friends and their family. They want to help other artists in their community. Let me know, what are you doing with all your extra money and free time, okay? Because knowing what you know now, like, do you feel more confident pricing your art? Just type yes if you feel more confident pricing your art, all right? And this question is really important to me. Like, are you happy you attended this class today? That you got some wisdom that you know you can apply so you can start making more money selling your art. Just type yes in the chat. All right. I see you say travel. All right. And do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques, like using that financial layering to start targeting those high income collectors? Okay. And can you see yourself using this to sell more art? Just type yes in the chat. Hey, I got some kids too, Steven. I get it. All right. Can you see yourself using this to sell more art? Okay. And then can you see yourself getting new collectors? Okay. All right. Just type yes in the chat. All right. And so, artists, now you got two choices. Choice one, you can do what you always do. All right. Whatever that is. Right. But if you continue to do what you've been doing, you're going to get the same results. All right. And so you're here. And so I know that you're looking for a new opportunity in a new way. Okay. So choice number two, you can start selling your art with handheld mentorship and guaranteed results. Okay. And so is it okay if I spend a few minutes going over a very special offer to help you accomplish your dreams? I see the yeses coming through. Somebody said family, excited about being here, learned a bit already. Perfect. All right. Just type yes in the chat. All right. If it's okay, if I can share a very special offer to help you accomplish your dreams. Okay. And so I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. All right. This is a fun and easy step-by-step system for visual artists to raise your prices, get new collectors, and sell more art online. All right. And so part number one of the Affluent Artist Masterclass is our simple 5-step program. All right. So step number one is mindset. That's where we help you adopt that $1 million mindset. Step number two is price. This is where we show you how to create luxury prices so you can charge your worth. Step number three is sold. This is where we show you our cash collector system so you can start selling art immediately. Step number four is collectors. This is where we show you how to build lifelong relationships with your collectors and create a community so they buy from you for the long term. And then step number five is marketing, guys. This is where we show you how to use Facebook and Instagram ads to really target collectors all over the country or the world with your art. Okay. And so I want to show you Christian and share his just his personal testimony about an affluent artist, how quickly he started selling art, and just how it transformed his life and his art career.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now, I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled, like, to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. You also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me and the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian, man. He is an incredible artist, and he got rocking and rolling quickly, all right? And so artists, again, remember, this works for you if you paint, if you sculpt, if you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, really no matter what you're selling, okay? And so type yes in the chat, man, if you want to start selling art for 4K or more, like Miss Joy did in Canada. So again, we got artists from all over the world selling art using this system to sell their art. So she sold this mural right here for $4,000. And I love when they put that cash on the table, man, because we always tell the truth about making money. So you got to show your receipts when you become an affluent artist, all right? And so this works even if your art isn't ready. So one of the biggest reasons I hear artists say that they can't get started because they think they need some big portfolio of art that's done and completed and ready to rock and roll. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. And so Jasmine, she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude. Art story and an organic conversation building relationships really work. All right. And so again, she pre-sold a piece before the piece was done. All right. So type yes in the chat, man, if you want to start getting some pre-sales so you can collect the money, buy supplies, take some profit, whatever you need to do, just get the money in advance before it's done. All right. And so when you join the Affluent Artist Masterclass today, man, you're going to get a total value of $5K just for getting the Affluent Artist Masterclass. All right. And then part 2, you're going to get your Artwork Gold account. All right. Y'all was asking about how to get the app. You're going to get the Artwork Gold account. And so I want you to imagine collectors buying art from anywhere in the world, just with artwork. All right. Jen, she said, I'm so happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my fries tonight. All right. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $2,700 like Jen did with Emergence and Power here. All right. And so just imagine your new life selling art anywhere, man, and starting to get new collectors, man. I love to see when the parents get the new collectors started with their first piece, right? So this little collector right here got this Spidey Senses piece. Missy Vaughn sold that, man. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And so when you get your artwork account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million. You'll be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You can track all of your art, your sales, and your collectors information all in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, right? Just like we buy stuff on Amazon. And collectors can track their net worth in your art so they can see your value as an artist continue to increase, okay? And then also you'll be able to save a lot of money, all right? So you can save money on website fees. If you want to get rid of your website and stop paying for that, you can. You can save money on like Etsy and marketplace fees if you're paying for those. Some artists don't want to go to shows and rent trucks and vans to take their art, you know, because they don't know if they're going to sell it. If you still want to go to shows, you can, but you can save on that labor and those fees. Email marketing, CRM software, we got you covered there. You can save on that. And then also, man, the most valuable asset, which is your time, all right? So you can save on that lost time, just trying to figure all of this stuff out on your own, okay? And so when I first started, you know, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or track how much money my collectors spent when they bought my art, right? So I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself, man. And so I'm excited to share it with you because it's going to save you a lot of time and money, right? So like in total, 6 years ago, I spent over $60,000 in 3 years figuring out how to create an app to solve this problem for other artists, okay? And so I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package so you can skip the cost, the trial, and the error. I type yes in the chat if that's cool, okay? And so again, man, artists are getting quick results with this. Tiara, she got a sale just within days after loading her art, man. She was still in shock at how fast the sale happened, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and you're going to get access to that Artwork Gold account, and that's a $6,200 value, all right? And then part number 3 is the Affluent Artist community. So we have a real community of real people that are selling art all over the world. And I'm excited to invite you inside of our world, all right? Because we got a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and that want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community, okay? And so this is going to give you the knowledge, the community, the encouragement, and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and the community anytime from anywhere in the world. And you're also going to get unlimited support. So we have 24/7 access to our school community, and we do a live weekly sales session call to make sure that you get all of your questions answered, okay? And so another thing that I love about the community is we have young artists, right? Like San Yu, she started when she was 9 years old. Her and her mother, Miss Jovan, joined, and I got the pleasure to meet them in person one time. Again, we got a real community. We got real people that really meet up and talk to each other and build relationships and help each other sell art, all right? So even if you're young like San Yu, or if you're a senior like Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in her first week. Man, we got all kind of people all over the world in this community, okay? And so I just want you to imagine like being a part of a community artist that help you 24/7. So like here's Sean, right? When other artists are selling art, I love when they share what happened because there's a lot of lessons that all of us can get value from. And so Sean said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her and she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite, right? I thought that was powerful because a lot of artists get ghosted and you'll be wondering what happened, right? But you can learn from another artist and it's going to give you the confidence to keep moving forward, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account, and you get access to the Affluent Artist community, okay? That's a $7,400 value, all right? And then we got some powerful bonuses for the artists that get started tonight as well, okay? So bonus number 1, you got that luxury pricing method. That's a $1,000 value, all right? And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue to lowball you, but just not put any respect on the true value of your art. All right, type me in the chat if you've ever experienced that. All right, this luxury pricing method is going to transform that for you. And so, look, Christy, when she started applying, she said, "Holy smokes!" She said, "I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art, and I landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works." She said, "I was thinking of asking for $800. I was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000, and she didn't hesitate." All right. And so Chris is a single mom. She watched this class that you're on right now, and she made $1,350 in the first 5 days. All right. You see on that post, she got that sold in 7 badge because we used to track artists that make sales in the first week. Some artists are like really serious. They want to lock in and get after it. Some artists take a little bit more time, and that's cool too, however you want to approach it, okay? And so again, the luxury pricing method, this is how Jen was able to sell her piece for over $5,840. I type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $5K, okay? And then Brisha, same thing. She applied this method because she was speechless because she had sold her biggest and her highest price piece, Fearless Expanding, for over $6,209 using this information, okay? And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price, all right? And so this is your new reality when you become an affluent artist, all right? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get your artwork gold account. You're going to join the Affluent Artist community, and we're going to hook you up with that luxury pricing method, all right? That's an $8,400 value, okay? And then we got another powerful bonus, man. This is our automated collector system. And so this is how we get collector leads coming into our art business 24/7 around the clock. And so it's really simple, all right? We use a tool called High Level. So first, we have the AI ads, all right, that we use on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of AI to target the collectors that's best suited for your style and your story. That brings us collector leads 24/7 around the clock because our ad is running, showing our art to interested collectors. And then they get on our list and give us their phone number and their email because they're interested in buying our art. And then that leads to new sales, all right? Just using a process that we show you how to sell your art. And so this really automates your collector acquisition because I know many artists suffer from feast or famine income where you sell some art some months and some months you don't sell art at all, right? And so I spent years investing time and money into testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7, okay? And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and your collector community while sales come in at the same time. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like, you can keep it if you want to, or you can get rid of it and use ours, okay? Either way, you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every single day like clockwork from your ads, all right? And so this is our Christy. She spent only $45 on ads and she made $1,400 quick, all right? And so again, I wish she would have kept that ad going because when you got a winner, you want to keep it going so you can sell as much art as you can, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You'll be able to join the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses, man. You get that luxury pricing method and that automated collector system. That's a $9,600 value, all right? And then bonus number 3, man, that high-income collectors bonus. For artists that pay in full tonight, we're going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough of how to use Instagram ads to target those high-paying collectors that are already spending millions of dollars on art, okay? And so many artists struggle to get exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the price you think is worth. And so I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads figuring out the best way to target buyers with money, all right? And so you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI to target those high-income collectors that are ready to buy your expensive art, okay? And so again, this is how we target brands like Sotheby's that we know are selling millions of dollars a year worth of art. We put that financial layering on top, and we can start to target the collectors that make the most money for these art brands, okay? And so this is going to give you exposure to collectors with disposable cash. You'll be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style, and you can predictably get new collectors 24/7 with your Instagram ads, okay? And so when you start getting collectors that have more disposable cash, you can start testing out prices, really. And so Jen, she said another deposit for a commission of $4,369 commission. I just threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3, right? And so, man, it just flat out works. So Jasmine, Man, she set a goal to make $5,000 for the month, but she ended up making $5,527 for the week. Okay. And so those are the deposits that she got for her commissions. And so it just flat out works. When you got collectors coming to you and you having collector conversations and people are either paying in full or putting down deposits for work, man, you start to make income very, very quickly. Okay. And then here's Isha Nelson. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for $10,000 or more. So she said sold. She got a custom creation, this beautiful 5-panel piece, and she got that installed. And that was a $10,000 sale. All right, type yes in the chat. All right, I see some yeses coming through. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to that Artwork Gold account. You join the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses, man. That luxury pricing method, the automated collector system, and for artists that pay in full, I'm going to personally show you how to target high-income collectors so you can sell your art for higher prices, all right? And so that's a $10,600 value. And so artists, if all this did was help you raise your prices so you can break your sales records, would that be worth $10,000? Just type yes in the chat. I see the yes. I see the yes, sir. All right. If all this did was help you manage your sales and access Artworks one-click collectors, would that be worth over 10K? Just type the yes in the chat. All right. Because I think so. Absolutely. If you could sell one piece for over 10K, it's 100% worth it. All right. Access a global marketplace of collectors that got their credit cards on file. And if all this did was show you how to target high-income collectors so you can sell more art, like would that be worth 10K, right? Isha just sold a piece for $10,000 using this method, all right? And so we're putting this together, artists. I had two choices as well. Choice one, I could let you do this on your own with the wisdom that you learned today, and you could go off and just take action, do it on your own, and you could be successful, okay? But choice number two, I decided, man, I could have our team dedicate more time, energy, and resources so we can have a responsible and active role in your success, all right? And so I want to let them know in the chat, like, what are your dreams worth to you, okay? Because if you had an automated collector system bringing collectors to you, what would that be worth to you? Like, let me know in the chat, like, how much would you pay to invest in one successful system, okay? Because you can see why artists have paid us $10,000 or more for similar results. Because when you do business with us, it's not a cost, it is an investment, okay? And so when you go to affluentartist.com today, you won't have to invest anywhere near $10,600. The normal price is $5K. You won't have to invest anywhere near that today. We got a special 91% off for $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com to join right now. All right. If you need a payment plan, it's $569 a month for 2 months. All right. When you go to affluentartist.com right now. All right. And if you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. And so, man, these are some comments from the artists who attended our first $1 Million Artist Mastermind here in Atlanta. Okay. So Jasmine, she came, she said, I'm at a loss for words here. She said, the Artwork Mastermind was beyond anything that I've imagined. Right. And so she walks through like the beautiful penthouse view with the $1 million view of the city. And man, she just had an incredible time, right? And Demetrius said one word, epic. All right. And so if you want a close-knit, hands-on, personalized experience like this, this will be a $25,000 investment, okay? When you go to affluentartist.com today, you can join for a fraction of that and still get some help. And we're just doing it online with all the other artists around the world, okay? And then also that automated collector system is over $1,600 in value. And you get that for free when you join and become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com today. All right. So it is an absolute steal just with this special offer that we're running today. Okay. And so artists, now you got two choices to make. Again, you can do this on your own. But if you do this, you might get the same results of what you've been doing. Okay. And it might take you a lot longer just kind of trying to figure everything out on your own. But choice number two, you can get handheld mentorship from me and my team. And that comes with guaranteed sales results when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? Because you're protected by our 110% money back guarantee. And so if you sign up now, if Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you'll have two simple options, all right? Option number one, you follow the steps in the program, decide it's not for you, and you can win 110% of your money back, okay? Option number two, you say, Sherez, well, listen, I want to grow and just continue on the Affluent Artist journey, and we'll personally help you achieve your art sales goals, okay? And so why do we do this? We do it for a very selfish reason, and that's because I know that it's a win-win. And so this makes it a no-brainer for you to join the program, and I know we can help you succeed. We got so many artists that we help from different parts of the world, we know we can help you, right? We run the same system over and over again, and it just flat out works. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact one of these two things will happen. You will either sell more art and get new collectors, all right, which that's all of our goal, or you'll win $1,100 from us just for trying it out when you go to affluentartist.com, okay? And so there are a few qualifications for the money back guarantee. So you have to earn the 100% completion just by watching the entire Affluent Artist Masterclass. You want to make sure that you actually consume the information. You have to take action on the Affluent Artist Masterclass. All right? You got to do it, okay? And then attend the live sales sessions every week so we can answer all of your questions so you don't get stuck. We want to make sure that you're selling art. And then again, sell art, right? Use the information to start selling art and transform your life, all right? And after you get results, just share your results on social media, all right? And you'll qualify, you can win your money back, okay? And so really your profit is guaranteed when you become an affluent artist. So again, you got two options. You can follow the steps and decide it's not for you, and you can win all of your money back, okay? Option number two, you will grow in the affluent artist, and we will continue helping you achieve your revenue goals. So you can start really becoming a full-time affluent artist, all right? When you go to affluentartist.com. And so the real question that you got to ask yourself, is it worth taking a few minutes to check this out, right? Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you just sell one painting for $1,000, all right? And so I love to tell our artists, man, you're just one collector away from really transforming your entire life, right? You start setting up your Instagram ads using the AI, implement that automated collector system, using artwork, man, you can get one collector can really just transform your life, man, with just what they can do, their relationships, and what they can invest into you in your art career. All right. So access that when you go to affluentartist.com. And so again, when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You're going to join the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses. All right. So you got that luxury pricing method, the automated collector system. And for artists that pay in full, I'm going to personally show you how to get high income collectors. All right. That's a $10,600 value. And then also artists, we got a fast action bonus for artists that join tonight. All right, we got the Sold Out Art Challenge. This is a $1,000 value as well. And so this is the step-by-step process that many artists have used to sell their art in the first 7 days, okay? And so if you want to go that fast, man, some artists, they are ready to hit the ground running. This is how it's done, all right? So you got live handheld coaching. We're also going to show you how to get your dream 100 collectors and so much more. Again, you're just one collector away from transforming your life, all right? So this is only for the first 10 artists that join and become affluent artists at affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, you can text join to 470-777-7549. All right. If you got questions, type your question in the chat. All right. So artists, get started now. If you got a question, type your question in the chat. We'd love to help you and take care of you. I'm gonna do a quick recap and go through some FAQs. But again, if you got a question, type your question in the chat. Let me put this up and pin this for everybody as well. Click that link and get started. All right. And let us know when you join in the chat. All right. So get started again, artists. You get the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to your Artwork Gold account. You join the Affluent Artist community. You got some powerful bonuses when you join today. All right. Bonus number one, you get access to that luxury pricing method. Bonus number two, you get that automated collector system for artists that pay in full. You're going to get the high income collectors. I'm going to personally show you how to target collectors that's spending millions on art right now. And then for the first 10 only artists, for the first 10 only, you're going to get that Sold Out Art Challenge, all right? Where we show artists how to sell art within 7 days, all right? And that's a total value of over $11,600. And we got a special 91% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com and join today, all right? If you need a payment plan, we have 2 payments of $569. If you need help ordering, you can text join to 470-777-7569. Again, you can text join to 470-777-7569. If you are outside of the states, you can go press +1 to use that country code 470-777-7549. All right, you can go to affluentartist.com to sign up right now. All right. So at this point, we still got a lot of artists here. Some artists are signing up, and I'm really excited to get y'all inside of the community, okay? But there's several of you still here, and I can tell you might be wanting to sign up, but maybe you have a question that you need answered before you make that decision. Now, if you got a question, please type your question in the chat. But I want to address some questions that we frequently get in the time that we have left, okay? And so some artists ask, like, what if I already have a website? All right. So listen, if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to Artwork, and you can use our automated collector system so you can eliminate the hosting costs and those monthly fees. All right. So you can keep your website if you want, but if you want to save money on it, you can also get rid of it and use the website template that we give in our automated collector system. Okay. Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest. They don't need an account. They can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection. Okay. If they actually get an account, they can track their collection. They can track that they bought it from you, what date, what time, the price point, and they can really start to see your value increase as an artist as you raise your price. Okay. How do I afford the investment? So listen, one of the most powerful ways artists have used to afford the investment, they've literally used the art story framework that I taught you today in this masterclass in secret number 1. And they started pre-selling their art on social media, friends and family, just by telling powerful stories. Okay. And so this is one of the things Jasmine did. She said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude. Art story and organic conversation building relationships really works. All right. So this flat out works. This is a way that if you need to get the money, you can actually start selling your art before it's done, or you can sell prints, you can sell your originals just by telling more powerful stories. Okay. And use that capital to invest into yourself to grow your art career. Some artists ask, how do I make the time? So listen, it's a fair question. Brisha Jones, she asked the same thing because she was a single mother of 2 kids. And so she was really wondering what she could do to make the time as well. But she used this method I'm about to share with you to start making the time because she was selling commissions for $2,572, right? And so one of the things that we do is create what we call a success block. And so the success block is just waking up, ideally like an hour or more if you can, before when you normally do, and just spending that first hour of your day working on your art career. All right. And this is powerful because you give the freshest version of yourself to your dream. And so you start to get a lot accomplished just by waking up a little bit early. Okay. And so if you're working a job right now, you got a family, you got kids, man, if you give to your dreams first, it's going to really catapult your art career. And then you can start to give yourself to everybody else. Okay. And so that's different. Like some artists try to come home and start working on their career at the end of the night, but you've already kind of been depleted. And so you're tired, you don't get stuff done, you still got to eat, you got to spend time with family. It's much more difficult to execute at a high level in the evening when you've been, working all day long. So we like to do it first thing in the morning. Okay. So that's a way to make the time to really put in the effort so you can start making the money that you want to make to be a full-time artist. All right. Some artists ask, can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. So this is Miss Joy. She's in Canada. All right. I'm in the United States. We got artists in Barbados. We got artists from different countries in different parts of the world. So you can absolutely do this from anywhere in the world as long as you have Wi-Fi. Okay. You got to have Wi-Fi and access to the internet. All right. So join now when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. Some artists ask, what if I'm just getting started? Listen, that's a great question as well. One of my favorite stories to talk about how it doesn't matter if you just getting started or how young you are. So Tierra, she's an affluent artist, and her kids were inspired by her selling her art and making money. And so she had 3 boys. They're 2, 5, and 7 years old. And so you can imagine, you have kids like I do, man, her kids were seeing her sell art and they like, Mom, show me how to do this. And so she actually started teaching her kids how to sell art. And so they are 2, 5, and 7. They set a goal to make $250. But with the support of their family and friends, these kids made over $500. Okay. And so if they can get started selling art at 2, 5, and 7, you can absolutely do this as well, even if you're just getting started and you haven't sold art before. Okay. Some artists ask, is the process too hard or technical? So listen, Miss Valerie joined at 68, and she was like, she's taking her time to master each step and working all of these new to her apps, right? And building out her team. But she ended up making over $10,000 in the first 4 months, and she was figuring it out. All right. So she did it as a 68-year-old grandmother. And so if she can figure out the tech, you can too when you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com. Okay. And so artists really, you got to either get the resources or be resourceful. All right. Your resourcefulness is one of your most valuable assets. And so before Miss Stacy joined, she was having some financial issues as well. But she ended up being resourceful, figuring out how to get the investment. And when she joined, she started selling art immediately. So she said, yes, it works. I made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called her and told her they're done. She could buy one for $250 or three for $6. She took all three. She paid with a check, and then she ended up paying today. All right. So you get access to this system when you go to affluentartist.com. Some artists want to know, is there too much competition? Man, absolutely not. Really, the more the merrier. If you have ever been to a collector's home or if you collect art, man, you know that we like to buy art from different artists, right? I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector. And just as I look around the living room, there's a lot of different artists that I purchase art from, right? And so, man, the cool thing about this is even if we have the same collector, man, they'll still buy art from both of us, okay? So there is more than enough for all of us to live the affluent artist lifestyle, all right? So you can join today when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And then what is the artwork commission? So it's only 10%. It's one of the lowest in the industry. And more importantly than that, you get to keep all of your collectors' data. All right. We want you to build a direct personal relationship with your collectors. I know from experience, galleries and dealers, they usually take a big cut, like 30 to 6% in some instances, and they don't like to give you your collectors' data because they don't want you to cut them out of their take, right? They want to remain the middleman. And so that's why they don't always give you their information, okay? And so you can avoid that and skip those really high fees when you go to affluentartist.com and sign up now, okay? Some other artists ask, like, what is the budget that I need for ads? So you really only need $5 per day, okay? You can get started with as little as $5 a day. But again, the more you can invest in ads, the faster you get collectors, okay? So I showed you how Christy had only spent $7 and she got a collector. Another time, another artist spent $45, man. They spend different amounts. Some artists got a daily budget. But again, you want to invest more in ads so you start to get collectors fast, okay? But you can get started for a very, very small amount. And so artists, listen, being a full-time artist, it just absolutely beat working the 9 to 5, man. When you start to get high price commissions like Mia here, man, and you start building personal relationships with collectors that continue to buy over and over from you, man, you can absolutely go full-time with your artistic gift, all right? When you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com. And man, the biggest thing about this for me is just that community support, because you got other artists that's on the same journey as you, encouraging you, showing you love, sharing what's working. And man, you just start to really get inspired by their habits, their actions that they're taking, and them breaking their prices, right? Because it becomes like a little fun, friendly competition. It's like, man, if they can do that, I know that I can do that, all right? So we're excited for you to join our community when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And so if you've been searching for how to sell art online information, whether that's on YouTube, online, you've been reading books, watching videos, attending master classes like this, listen, you know information alone is not enough. Man, you need accountability, you need structure, you need a system, you need a community that's helping you. And so if you're ready to get booked and busy like Toya here, go to affluentartist.com and sign up now, all right? If you need help, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549, all right? And so artists, as we close out, if you got a question, type it in the chat, all right? Let me know when you join. One of the big questions you got to ask yourself, artists, is do you want money? Like, do you want art sales or do you want excuses, okay? Because it's my experience that we can't have both. We got to pick one or the other, right? If we want to start selling our art, we got to make a decision, decide, and figure out what we got to do. Just like Jonte did, and he started selling his art for $2K or more, just like this lamb piece right here, okay? But if we want excuses, if we want to just continue to stack up reasons to say why we can't, that can become our reality as well, all right? But it's been my experience, man, artists that really break through their excuses and find a way and make one, they're the ones who start making money and selling art, okay? But then one of the biggest things that we have to calculate is the true cost of inaction. Because what if this helped you just start selling just one piece per week? Would that be worth it? Type it yes in the chat if you think that would be worth it. If you could just start selling one piece per week at whatever your price point is, okay? Just one piece a week and just start getting that consistently. Like, would that be worth it, okay? But then if you wait, right, if you try to do it on your own, if you say, hey, okay, I'm going to try to wait till another time, you got to really ask yourself, like, what's the lost opportunity cost of that, right? Because if you can start selling art this month, it's February. If you can start selling art this month, but you decide to wait till March, April, May, June, right? What's the future missed sales really worth? Because you continue to struggle, right? I like to calculate that as income that you didn't get because you didn't take advantage of an opportunity sooner, right? So you got to really calculate that lost opportunity cost, all right? Because if you follow just one of the steps I shared on today's event, you can make a profit in the first week when you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com, all right? And so also some artists use their family and friends as investors. It's really easy, man, to get people to invest into you when they know you got a plan and a system and a community that's helping you. Miss Valerie, she said, I finished this today. I posted it 3 hours ago, sold to a collector. It works really, really quickly. Cherish, she made a sale her first week in the program. You can get access to the same system when you go to affluentartist.com. Also, some artists, they use PayPal credit to invest into themselves. And so PayPal credit has a great program. They have no payments and no interest if you pay it in full within 6 months. Okay, so you have to pay in full. PayPal can make the down payment for you. You got 6 months to start selling your art as an affluent artist. You can make the money back, pay them off, don't pay any interest. Okay, you can get access to that at paypal.com/credit to apply. Okay. And so, artists, the time is now. All right. Go to affluentartist.com and sign up. Man, if you want to be like Raquel, she said, after connecting with Sherez and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece at my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround. All right. So if you want wisdom, you want a quick turnaround, if you're ready to start selling with a process that absolutely works, man, become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com right now. All right. So I'm excited to accomplish your dreams together, man. I'm excited to introduce you to the crew and get you inside the affluent artist family. All right. Because as a fellow artist, listen, I know your struggle with selling art is real. But really, when it's gone from your life, like, how will you feel? Think about that. Like, how much better will your life be? How much stress does working a job and never having enough money cause in your mind and your body right now? Like, what is that experience like? Because after you join, it is gone, right? Just like poof, okay? So I want you to just like really feel the difference, man, knowing that you got a community supporting you. You got accountability to make sure that you take action and get your work done so you can start selling your art. And you got a step-by-step process that helps you get collectors automatically online, okay? And so access to that new reality starts by going to the link below and joining at affluentartist.com, all right? And so I'm going to walk you through the checkout process real quick. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, all right? So get started now, artists. I'm going to come out. Let me actually walk you through the checkout. So when you go to affluentartist.com, it's going to take you to our order form, okay? And so you have a little bit over 72 hours to actually join and sign up before this special price expires and it goes back to the full price, all right? And so we're going to get a recap of what you get when you join today. We also talk about the 110% money back guarantee. All you got to do is put your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and then choose your payment plan, okay? If you want to pay in full and get that pay in full bonus, so I can personally show you how to get access to those high income collectors that's spending millions of dollars worth of art online. Please pay in full. If you need a payment plan, just select the payment plan, okay? The $569 a month, okay? And then also, man, if you want to have a one-on-one call, a VIP call with our team, so we can help you quickly get set up to start selling your art, man, this is $100 value, all right? But you can get that, add that to your order as well, all right? And so then just come down, enter your card number, your 16-digit number, credit card or debit card, enter your expiration, the month, the year, your CVC, your country, your zip code, and click join now, okay? It's really simple. So artists, if you got a question, ask it in the chat. Get started now. Go to affluentartist.com. Just walk you through how to get started. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to that Artwork Gold account. You get access to the Affluent Artist community. And you're going to get some powerful bonuses as well, all right? So you get that luxury pricing method. You get that automated collector system. And when you pay in full, you're going to get access to those high-income collectors. We're going to show you how to set up your AI Instagram ads and really how to target high-income collectors that's spending millions of dollars on brands like Sotheby's, Art Basel, and Artsy, just to name a few, okay? And then for the first 10 artists that join, you can join the Sold Out Art Challenge for artists that want to start selling their art quickly, all right? So that's a total value of $11,600. When you go to affluentartist.com, man, we got a special offer that's still available for the next few days of $9.99. It's 91% off. If you need a payment plan, we got 2 payments of $569 a month. All right. If you need help ordering, text join to 470-777-7549. Again, go to affluentartist.com to get signed up right now. If you need help ordering, text join to 470-777-7549. All right. So we still got a lot of artists here. If you got a question, please type your question in the chat. Let us know how we can help you. Type your question in the chat. All right. And if you text join, our team will call you once we're done here. All right, we'll be done here in a second. But if you got a question, just type your question in the chat. All right. If we don't have any questions, I'm going to do one more offer recap. And we're going to be signing off. All right. We still here, man. We got a little more time. If you got a question, feel free to type your question in the chat. You can also text join to 470-777-7549. All right. So Affluent Artist, man, excited for, we got a lot of artists text join. We got some artists that signed up. Get started now. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, a 5-step system to help you sell your art online. You're going to get access to your Artwork Gold account. You get access to the Affluent Artist community. We're also going to get these powerful bonuses, all right? So you get that luxury pricing method. It's going to show you how to raise your price and charge your work. Bonus number 2, you're going to get that automated collector system to show you how to get collectors coming to you from 24/7 with Instagram ads. And then for artists that pay in full, we're going to show you how to get high-income collectors that's already spending millions of dollars on art, so you can put your art in front of them so we can get in the flow of that cash, okay? And then also for the artists that join tonight, you get access to the Sold Out Art Challenge, and that's for the first 10 artists only, man. So this is a $11,600 value. You can join today at affluentartist.com and get our special 91% off when you pay in full for only $9.99. All right. If you need a payment plan, we got 2 payments of $569. All right. And if you need help ordering, text join to 470-777-7549. All right. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So we have some people to call that text join. So we're going to get up out of here. All right. If you want to join, you still have a little bit of time. Check your email and your text for access to the replay. All right. And then we'll see you on the inside, man. So join tonight if you want to get access to the Sold Out Art Challenge, paying full if you want to get personally shown how to create your high income collector art ads. All right. So again, sign up at affluentartist.com and I'll see you next time. See you on the inside.